Okay, I just want to make a little bit of an update video on this thing. It's a Suzuki RM 250 1994. So I just started taking it apart. The Kickstarter is completely toast. So as you can see, or you can't see because of the blurry camera, this side here, someone actually welded a chunk back in here to kind of make it last a bit longer. So the aluminum's all chewed up. It's so loose, so that's going to be changed. I know it's about 110 bucks, but it's one thing I don't want breaking in the middle of nowhere. So other than that, I just kind of pulled it apart to take a look, make sure there's no frame damage. So far I'm seeing nothing for frame damage on the machine. Everything looks to be good. This fuel line connecting to the gas tank was so loose that it pretty much fell off the minute I tried lifting up the tank. So I'm going to check the spark plug, see how it was running, if it is rich, lean. Some of these wires are a little bit sick looking, so going to get some lume over top them, check all the hose clamps, maybe do a pressure test on the system. This carburetor is gummed up solid, I already found that out, so the other side of the carb is just soaked with gas. So because I guess this hose here is just leaking down over the entire machine. As you can see, his throttle cable here wasn't even seated proper, so but you can hear it is going down to the stop. So actually the throttle cable, no, it looks to be in good shape. So it's just physically pulled out of there. I noticed that before I took off everything. So I'm just pretty much going over it. So because I know he said when he got this bike it's in pieces, so I'm just making sure everything's installed right. Noticing when I took off the gas tank, he has some of the side cover bolts holding the gas tank on. A little zip tie over that, but that's no big deal on the choke. It doesn't seem like it's moving. Oh, I guess it is. It's a little bit frozen. So that's moving a little bit fine. Actually, a little bit of oil up there, so hard to say. Maybe the spark plug wasn't cranked down tight enough. Maybe the threads are screwed, you never know. So that tire is completely fucked. Front sprocket, I know you can't really see it, but those teeth are just destroyed on that sprocket, so they're pretty bad. So the chain itself, most likely that, is pretty decent, but I am going to change it. Same with the rear sprocket, it looks pretty decent. Looks like he has a mixed and matched set of screws, bolts, whatever you call them, holding it on. The air filter, which you can't see unless I turn on the light, is pretty disgusting. I touched just the top of it and it fell apart, so right now as far as I can see there's no holes in it, so I'm going to take that off. I'm actually going to remove the whole airbox assembly because I got to pull out the whole swing arm, so it's just going to be easier if I pull this whole system pretty much out of here. So I'm going to do the swing arm bushings on it, new chain, new tire, new sprockets. Probably going to do a sprocket seal too on it. I don't know what shape it's in, but seeing the sprockets off I'm going to do it. So you can see this has a little bit of play in it, so chances are it needs a new shifter too. So it's just a shifter itself. So it looks like the bolt's as tight as it'll go, so it'll help if I was pointing the camera at it. Don't know if I was back there. But you can see it has quite a bit of play. That's just in the shifter, so the shifter needs to be changed. It's not too bad, but of course I'm going to change that. The intake boot, everything looks good. See, I'm not sure if I could get in here, but I'll show you the other side of the carb. You can just see it's just covered. So it's pretty obvious that this thing was leaking fuel. So I'm guessing it's just all from here where the gas tank goes on to petcock, whatever you call it. Everyone has a different name. Has a leak on it too, so that needs to be changed. So I'm going to change that. I'm going to change all the fuel line. I'm actually going to pull off the carb, give it a cleaning, cut off his zip tie he has holding on the intake, which I guess, or that intake is, I guess, not too bad, so I'm going to change that. And I'm not going to bother pulling off the top end or anything because he claims that he recently had this motor rebuilt. So the crank is meant to be done, the cylinder head, pretty much everything. So it's meant to have a brand new piston, rings, crank. So that means he would have split the case and hopefully changed anything else that was wrong. So I'm going to drain the oil, so I don't even know if there's any rad fluid in it. So I only seen the bike run when I looked at it for just a matter of minutes, or not even minutes, like maybe 30 seconds it ran, and then it just died, so I didn't bother getting them to start it back up. So it ran, seemed like it was running great, no knocks, nothing, so don't have to worry too much, I'm hoping, with the motor. So there's some dry grease on the bottom of the steering neck there. So the story was, when he got this bike, he bought it from someone downtown that just bought the bike, took it for a shit kick down the back lane at his house, and pretty much when he took it for a spin, he seized the engine solid. So then the kid that owned it before took it all apart, never could figure out how to put it back together. Then the guy I bought it off of bought the bike from the kid and had a local motorcycle shop, he claims, rebuild the engine, put it together, find any parts that it was missing, and pretty much get the bike going. So the guy claims that it only has 10 hours on the rebuild, but by looking at the dirt, the dust, it probably has a little bit more than 10 hours on it. So you'd think if a shop would have rebuilt it, they would have, a lot of this stuff is pretty worn out, and if they would have rebuilt the engine, I can't see them doing a lot of this wear in 10 hours, so more like it has 100 hours. So other than that, for today, just pulled off the seat, side covers, and I'm just pretty much checking it out. I'm not going to start pulling off the carb or anything tonight. It's already about 10 or 11 o'clock at night, so more or less I just wanted to check all these wires, make sure there's no loose connections going to the coil, change the plug, check the plug. So that's kind of a weird spot for the CDI unit, but I guess that's where they put them on newer bikes so they don't get wet. So yeah, that's pretty much all I'm doing on it for today. So yeah, I'm just checking it out. I'm going to go order the new back tire, ordered swing arm bushings and whatever else tomorrow. So I kind of figured that's the ugliest looking exhaust ever, because it looks like it's actually missing something, but it's just the way they made them. So that's probably going to be changed. I'm going to probably throw an aftermarket pipe on it. Between this bike and that bike, one of them are going to be mated to an ice racer, so I'm not too sure exactly which one. So maybe this one. So it depends how it is. So I know in cold weather it didn't want to start when I tried starting it, but I never even bothered trying too much. So I more or less wanted to pull off the carburetor, take out that dirty, stinky gas in that gas tank. It smells like it's 5 years old, and the guy says it's 4 or 5 years old. So yeah, it smells about that. So I'm going to change out that gas and clean out the carb, change the spark plug, pressure test the rad, check all the clamps, check the wiring, probably put it back together just like the gas tank, the seat, and just try to start it up. Once I know it starts, it runs, check all the gears. Actually, I'll just check the gears up on jack stands or a bucket. So I'll make sure all the gears are good. The clutch feels good already. So once I know all that's good, then I'll probably do the swing arm bushings, new back tire, sprockets. Not too sure yet. Just depends how it goes. So it's kind of nice how they have the one aluminum subframe side there that comes off to remove the shock and everything. So I could see that making someone's life much nicer. So it'll be nice when I do the swing arm bushings, I'm sure of it, even though I don't think I need to remove it for that, but I'm going to. So pretty much that's it for this video, and if I decide to do anything else on it, I'll videotape it. Okay.